You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rockin' if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby.
Hey guys, and welcome back. We have decided to make our garden a little bigger, so we are extending it about 10 feet. In the beginning, I just set a few things out on the back porch, and I actually started with Heather just saying she wanted a couple tomato plants just so we could walk out the back door, pick a tomato for a hamburger or whatever, and it be right there. I'd never grown a tomato plant before. I didn't even know if we could keep anything like that alive. So as time went on, we started getting more things, and we just fell in love with growing things. And my mom actually said, you all need a garden. You just need to dig a spot up in your yard for a garden. And I was like, no way, snakes, I'm not doing that. But after thinking about it, I thought we've got way too much stuff on this back porch and it's not a bad idea. Let's just do it. So we started off with a really small garden, and it looked really big to me in the beginning because, like I said, I've never done this before, and I didn't even know that I would get off that back porch to take care of it. So I didn't want all of this put on Heather or the kids. I didn't want to dig our yard up and it look bad and not take care of it. But, you know, it's trial and error and it's a learning process. So after having this garden for a few weeks, we love it and it's so much fun. Who would have thought? Playing in the dirt is so much fun, but it is. So we want to extend it. We have got a few more things to put out and we don't have room for it. So why not? Why not dig up some land, grow some things from seed, and bless other people with harvest? We borrowed my dad's tiller and started working up some of this land. That tiller is good about ripping the top layer of grass off, and then it's easier just to go in by hand and throw out the big chunks of grass. But the ground was pretty hard. It'd been pretty dry and pretty hot, so I got the water hose and I was watering the garden, but at the same time I would wet the ground over there, and Heather said that helped a lot just to soften the ground up. The water hose might have slipped a time or two and I accidentally sprayed her, but she wasn't mad about it. It was like 90 degrees on this day. It was so hot. There was a nice breeze, so that helped. But just trying to do what I can to help her. I feel like I'm a little useless, and I hate that she had to do all the tilling by herself. She doesn't mind, I promise. She would rather do something like that. Heather is a very hard worker, and you just have to tell her to stop. You just have to physically take a tiller or take a hoe out of her hand or whatever just to even jump in and help her. But I was just trying to go behind her and get all of this loose grass out of her way. That way those tines could go through the dirt and start working up the land, not just only ripping off that top layer of grass.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart stops beating when my headlights shining on her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing with me. She's so out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes. And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms till the sun comes up. just with that sweet smiling. There's nobody else for me. My heart starts racing every time I'm looking at her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing to me.
Other than older people just it being their way of life, their way of feeding their family by having a garden, I didn't understand how gardening could be a hobby. Like, you could find a hobby a lot less physical because gardening is not easy, for one. But who wants to be out in the dead of summer in the heat digging in dirt? So, I just didn't understand it. But gardening has brought me so much joy. It's the craziest thing. Who would have thought it? Someone that's afraid of snakes and worms, almost the same. And I've gotten better with worms. I actually don't scream and chop them in two now. I let them be because they're supposed to be good for your garden. But I was not one that really got my hands dirty. So if someone would have told me 3 months ago, actually, that I would love gardening, I would have laughed. But I'm seeing as I get older why older people love to garden. And I'm not just saying it's for older people. I am in a season of my life where my kids, 3 out of 4, have moved away. Lexi's married. Reagan lives in her own apartment. Kennedy's at ETSU in a dorm most of the time. And then I have Allison at home, but she's 13. Her mom's not cool anymore. And, she can take her own bath, fix her own food. She's self-sufficient. So other than this sweet little grandbaby of mine that I only get to see, a few hours a day and not every day, what needs me? Who needs me? And everyone wants to feel needed. And at the same time, I feel like a lot of my sadness comes from nobody needing me or not having something to take care of. And I think that gardening has filled a little bit of a void for me. And I know that sounds crazy. You probably do not understand it. I can't explain it. But it gives me something to tend to. It gives me something to take care of. It has to be watered. It has to be nurtured. And I am a very nurturing person. It gives me my own time to think. It clears my mind. There's something about being outside. And you guys know that I love to do floors. I love to clean floors. That's my favorite chore. And as I was weeding this garden out, I thought maybe there's a connection. Like, I love doing floors, and I know it's completely opposite. Of course, you can't sweep and mop a garden, but you do have to keep it cleaned out. And there's something about hoeing a garden and keeping it cleaned out that I love. I know it sounds crazy, but I said all that to say I get why people love to garden. I do. It has brought me so much happiness.
And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms till the sun comes up. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl.
Okay, we took a break, took Dad's tiller back. We cooked supper and ate. And while we did that, he mowed our yard, our mower guy. So we're back at it. We're going to till this a little bit more and then put the fence up, at least get the fence up tonight so nothing can get in it overnight.
If you ever feel alone, 'cause yeah, sometimes we'll feel alone. In a second, I'll be right there. Turn around, let it rain. Turn around and let it rain on me. Don't you be afraid. Just follow me. You don't need no space. Just follow me. Like a mirror, you reflect me. Like a Friday night on the weekend, I feel blessed and free. I just don't want this moment to end. But now you say
had to buy some extra fence posts and some fencing. We actually bought a 50-foot roll of fencing, and it's rabbit fence. So we bought that in the beginning, and we did not want to go buy another roll. So we made that as small around our garden as possible and made it stretch as much as we could, and it fit perfectly, only to turn around and go buy more fencing to make it bigger, but that's okay. They were out of the fence posts that we got the first time, and those were just plastic. So we had to buy a metal fence post, which still worked fine, went in the ground fine. I actually wish we would have bought these to begin with because they're so much better, so much sturdier. But, you know, you live and learn. We've never done this before. I'm sure if you've put up fence before, you probably laughed so hard at us putting this fence up the first time and this time too, because we still don't know what we're doing. But we just tried to hook it on there, make sense of it, and it stayed up. It kept rabbits out, so hey, it's a win-win. But Lexi had brought Lakely over. She was fixing to put her in the pool for a few minutes. She loves water, loves to kick and all that. But we needed to get this fence up before it started getting dark. I for sure wanted to do that because our plants are growing so good. I just don't want anything eaten on them. We actually have quite a bit more to set out. We bought some peaches and cream corn, and we're not going to put a ton of that out, but we're going to put a little out. And then we bought some green onions. We also have some turnips and radishes. We have tomato plants, so we need to space out. We also have some Brussels sprouts and carrots, and I don't remember what else we need to set out down here. But on this day that I'm voiceovering, it rained all day on and off, so it was muddy. We did not do anything to this garden. The only time we even went outside was to grill and watch the World Series. Oklahoma killed Texas, so not thrilled about that. We are definitely rooting for Texas. But we did have a couple of plants that the rabbits ate, and we had a couple of plants left down on the bottom, so we moved those up. I hope those grow okay, but I didn't want an empty space up there and then just one lonely plant at the bottom by themselves. But just a fun fact for you guys that are local and watch, you know, but for you that don't, the pitching coach at Texas is actually, he was my principal and my kid's principal. It's his daughter that coaches there. So that is pretty cool, but we are rooting them on for sure. Okay, as bad as I want to plant the rest of our stuff, if we have any left. Daisy, why are you in there? Daisy, get out of the garden. We really need to get this fence put up because it is about to get dark soon. So I guess we need to get the fence up to keep things like this out of the garden. They're fixing to come put Lakely in the pool. Well, it ain't the first time. But what, her second time? So you're burnt. I felt my shirt sticking to me, so I raised it up. My last steri strip came off, so I am steri strip free, bandage free as of now, and feeling great. The soreness is almost gone. Feeling good. So I know that this looks like I overdo it every single day, but I promise you this is hours and hours of footage and it's edited. So it looks like I've just killed it like nonstop for 30 minutes here, and I have not, I promise. We take a lot of breaks, sit in the shade, go in, watch softball. I mean, we've just been taking it easy really, but getting some things done in the meantime too. So as we put this fence up, we bent the bottom part down. So there was about 6 inches of fencing laying on the ground. the dirt that we pulled from the garden and the grass clumps, all that, we laid on top of that just because if we didn't bend that fence down and lay it on the ground, we were going to have gaps. And I knew rabbits and things like that could get up under it. So what's purpose? You know, it kind of defeats the purpose. We could have, I guess, dug a little trench out and put the fence down in the ground, but this seems to work fine. So far, there's not been anything digging up under it, so it's worked. I'm not sure if that's even how you're supposed to do it or not, but that's how our little minds worked on this day.
Aren't you tired of the drama? You use your words like they are knives. I don't need that type of drama and trying to be tough all the daytime. You try to make yourself feel better by taking me down. Once I fell, but now I'm strong. I'm ready for the rematch.
Daisy!
Get up, yeah, baby, I will fight. No, there ain't nothing stopping me. I'm bulletproof.
Your very first strawberry.
I'm bulletproof. Go on and shoot me down. I will always get up again. You're looking at me so cold. Get over yourself, are you for real? Why are you looking at me so cold? One's love is now we're enemies. You try to make yourself feel better by taking me down. Once I fell, but now I'm strong. I'm ready for the rematch. Shoot me down, don't you know?
I'm not going to read my devotional to you guys today. I did read a couple of things this week that just kind of stuck with me, and I was going to share them with you. But one was, if God gave you a do-over, one thing you could go back and change, what would it be? So as I thought about that, I couldn't really pinpoint one thing. We can all say, I wouldn't have been with this person, but then maybe you wouldn't have your kids. You know, there's just so many back and forths to that. The one thing I probably would change is that I would have been more patient. I would have prayed about my decisions. I would have waited on the Lord, because if I had done that, I wouldn't have all kinds of bad decisions that I could go back and change. But then I also read a devotional about choosing your hard. It was a long one. I'm not going to read it to you, but some of the things was being in a bad marriage is hard. Divorce is hard. Choose your hard. Having addiction is hard. Sobriety is hard, but choose your hard. Choosing bitterness or choosing understanding. There were all these different scenarios, all these different choices. I thought, you know what? It is a choice. I know some are easier than others. You know, maybe someone's addicted. It is a choice. It is a choice to continue, and I'm not going to say it's a choice to stop, because that's easier said than done. But there's a choice. There's a choice to continue to be an addict and continue to be on the road your own, stealing from family, stealing from friends, doing what you have to do to get your next fix, to go in to get help. Go check yourself in somewhere, get help. Maybe you've lost your kids. Each day that you wake up, God's given you a chance to choose. Choose to get those kids back. Choose to do what you have to do to get those kids back. Don't tell me it can't be done, because I've seen it. I've seen it within my family. I've made some hard decisions over the past couple of years. Did I always make the right ones? No, I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure I didn't always make the right decisions, but we're human. I had someone ask me if God could forgive them for anything, just a couple videos back. They couldn't forgive themselves. And what I'll say to that is, he wouldn't have had to went to the cross if he knew we would be perfect people. Can God forgive you for anything? Absolutely. Look at the people in the Bible. There were murderers, people that committed adultery, all kinds of things, and he forgave, and he will forgive you. God doesn't look at it like your sin on a 1 to 10 is a 10 and your sin is a 5, and he doesn't do that. I believe that if you ask him to forgive you, no matter what you've done, no matter what, he will forgive you. we're the ones that have a hard time forgiving ourselves. And I completely understand what this person was saying when they said, I can't forgive myself. Because I'll ask for forgiveness and then I'll turn around the next day and I'll beat myself up all day long over that very thing that I asked him to forgive me for the day before. And then when I go to pray about that, I remind myself that that's gone to him. That's gone. He's forgiven me. I'm okay with him. I'm just not okay with myself. So let me say, if it matters to God, it matters. And if it doesn't, it don't. And if you've asked him to forgive you, he has. He said he would, and he doesn't lie. So quit being so hard on yourself. We are harder on ourselves than anyone else could ever be. I've always said that. Don't beat me up because I do it more than anybody else could ever do it. And we have to forgive ourselves. We have to be okay with ourselves. We have to fix it. So pray about it. Ask God to take that away from you. I promise you, if you ask him for help, he's not going to turn you away. He's a good God. He's a big God. He's a forgiving God. He is compassionate. He is understanding. He knows what you stand in need of. He knows what's bothering you before you even ask him. But you have to forgive yourself. But anyway, there was not a whole lot to this video. We just was digging in the dirt the whole time. So I don't know why I filmed this. I don't know why anybody would want to watch, but here it is. We made our garden bigger. You know, I'd say people do it every day, but I'm crazy enough to film it and throw it up on YouTube. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I love you guys. Remember, Jesus loves you guys no matter what. He loves you. Even if you've made bad choices, even if you make them time after time after time, he knew you would. He loves you anyway. But I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hearts are losing hope. Yeah, I know. It's hard. I wanna be a shining light, live a life that shows through the darkness, a fire burning in the night, be a hope for a world so broken, be a friend to the lonely, the joy that he showed me, make the broken things new, yeah, the only hope for you and I wanna have the heart of Jesus, yeah. I wanna have the heart of Jesus, oh yeah. I wanna have the heart of Jesus. You can have all the world. You can have all the world. I wanna be a shining light, live a life that shows through the darkness, a fire burning in the night, be a hope for a world so